The story which has come out in the last hour or so about Prince Harry is deeply sad, and it touches on significant issues of reputation, of race, the bitter dispute now engulfing Sentebale, the African HIV/AIDS charity founded by Prince Harry in 2006. The charity was born out of loss and hope and established in the memory of the Princess Diana and Queen Mamahato of Lesotho, and Prince Harry, moved by his time spent in Lesotho during his gap year, envisaged a foundation. He hoped to build a foundation to support children affected by HIV/AIDS. It has, for nearly 2 decades, been central to his philanthropic identity until now. And this week, Sentebale suffered a near total implosion, with Prince Harry and its co-founder Prince Seiso resigning as patrons with very heavy hearts. 5 trustees also quit, and their departure followed an extraordinary public fallout with the current chair, Dr. Sophie Chandauka, a Zimbabwean-born corporate lawyer appointed to the board in 2023, speaking out. And her central allegation that the relationship between the trustees and the chair had become untenable. That word untenable has served as both a sword and a shield in this war of words. And from Harry's camp, it justifies stepping away. From Dr. Chandauka's perspective, it conceals what she calls a cover-up of harassment, bullying, misogyny, misogynoir, and poor governance. And she alleges that Harry unleashed the Sussex PR machine against her, accusing him of authorising the release of damaging information to the press without her knowledge or the knowledge of her team. And she describes this as harassment and bullying at scale, a phrase clearly designed to evoke not just personal grievance, but the abuse of power. And the language used here, misogynoir, is not a term commonly heard in royal circles. Coined by Moya Bailey, it refers specifically to the intersection of misogyny and anti-black racism experienced by black women. And to hear it invoked in the context of a royal charity makes that it's a seismic rhetorical shift in how institutional failings are being narrated and challenged. But the response from those close to the trustees has been scathing. A former trustee, Dr. Kalelo Lerotholi, has described himself as a long-standing ally of Harry and Seiso and said he was shocked by the allegations that they were unrecognisable from his experience, and a source even called them completely baseless. At the heart of this lies a dispute not merely of personalities, but of principle. Dr. Chandauka claims the charity is being used as a vanity project, that Harry wishes to allow it to fall only to ride to the rescue. And worse still, she says that she was asked to defend Meghan Markle in the press, a request she refused, unwilling to make the charity an extension of the Sussex PR machine. That moment appears to have been catalytic. From then, relations deteriorated, court injunctions were pursued, and the Charity Commission is now investigating. What was once a harmonious operation is now the site of acrimony, walkouts, and mutual recrimination. So what does this tell us? Firstly, it undermines the risk of celebrity patronage. When charities are inextricably linked to the image of a singular figure, especially one whose public reputation is at best polarising, then that institution inherits that baggage. What began as an altruistic mission can be submerged into under the battle of ego and media warfare. Secondly, it raises questions about the way it's run, especially in post-colonial context. Sentebale operates in southern Africa, yet here we have a UK-based power struggle involving allegations of racism and misogyny within a supposedly international progressive organisation. It's a stark reminder that diversity at the top doesn't necessarily guarantee harmony or justice, particularly when entrenched dynamics of power, press and personality are involved. And thirdly, it shows us that even those who once wielded the most traditional forms of privilege, titles, lineage, media attention, are not immune from being accused of exactly what they so often claim to oppose. Prince Harry has positioned himself in recent years as a critic of press toxicity, a defender of mental health, a voice against institutional bias, yet here he stands accused of precisely those tools: press briefings, silencing dissent and weaponising victimhood. Dr. Chandaukar's final words are damning. Some people behave as though they are above the law and mistreat others, and then play the victim card while using the press they claim to despise. If that isn't a direct indictment of the Sussex brand, I don't know what is. But we shouldn't be naive. This isn't a simple tale of villain and victim. It's a clash of visions, egos and stars, one shaped by race, by reputation, by the fragility of modern celebrity philanthropy. And the truth, as ever, will likely be far more complex than either camp's statements suggest. But I must say, my instinct is to support Prince Harry and to view Dr. Chandaukar's statement with a certain amount of a raised eyebrow. The greatest casualty here is going to be the charity's mission itself. Sentabale's work supporting some of the most vulnerable people in the world, vulnerable children in the world, is now overshadowed by a feud that began in private and exploded in public and didn't need to. It's an all-too modern royal tragedy, legacy eclipsed by litigation, compassion drowned out by the crisis of communication, and over this, the ego and resentment. I find it really hard to work out how it got to this point, and I am sorry.